And we are back. It's Astrojan again, and we're back to the Phantom Thief event. Sorry, stammering. Oops. Wrong thing. Next mission, let's go! No need for the cutscene. Earlier, I was robbed of my ability to fight. Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight into it. It seems the curator and his servants weren't lying about that. However, it also seems my ability to fight is the only thing they took. Okay, before you go any further... Yes? What the heck are you wearing? Snazzy. This is my Phantom Thief attire. Oh, well, I guess you are still pretty young. So... Haha, don't think I can't see that look of pity in your eyes. I think you look cool. No comment. I'll say it works for him. Thank you, Master. Phantom Thief Amakusa Shiro Tokisada at your service. Ahem. Now, as I was saying, since my combat abilities have been sealed away, I, of course, can currently use my noble phantasm. Twin Arm, Big Crunch. But fortunately, I have two other noble phantasms that aren't used for combat. Right hand, Evil Eater, and left hand, Xanadu Matrix. And those still work just fine. What kind of noble phantasms are they? Well, to make a long story short, as a servant who should by all rights have been summoned as a caster rather than a ruler, I can use all kinds of magecraft to support you in various ways. As long as you aren't fighting, there's nothing you can't do. That being said, just because you can fly through the air or smash through a wall doesn't mean you should. At the risk of repeating myself, let me say once more that our only goal is to steal that Holy Grail. Which means our first order of business is to disguise ourselves. Disguise ourselves? Why? Come now, Master. Don't you remember? Security already knows what you look like. As for the rest of you, I'll go ahead and strengthen your disguise charms. That should ensure you all look like ordinary humans, so long as you don't do any fighting. Of course, the jig will also be up if you do anything to draw suspicion to yourselves. From there, it would all come down to our smarts, our courage, our planning, and our prep work. Jinkei, I'd like you to keep using your present concealment to monitor everything that goes on in the museum. Got it. Keep an especially close eyes on the security guards' patrol patterns, and let us know if you see anything else that seems odd to you. You are the assassin who tried to kill one of the most powerful emperors in history, so I'm certain your keen eye and attention to detail will be crucial in this heist. Excuse me one moment, I'm actually... trying to adjust the volume. Is that a little blush I see? Shut up, Master. Sensei, I'd like you to pretend to be a doctor on vacation, and go learn anything you can about the museum. The food stand outside should be a good place to start. Well, I don't mind doing that. Are you certain no one will be able to tell I'm a servant, though? Oh yes, you've had a charm cast on you already. I'll improve it, so I don't think you'll have anything to worry about. Beyond that, you'll just have to trust me. Fortunately, no one on the museum's sides knows which of us are servants, apart from me, of course. They've figured out there's more besides me, but it should be impossible for them to determine who exactly we are. Alright, I'll trust you on this, Amakusa. That said, I'm not exactly hopeful about being able to find out much in the way of useful information. Ah, that's because I still have one more important thing to tell you. I want you to conduct yourself as though you were truly a doctor. You need to act as though you're not here to harm the museum, or to steal anything from it. In fact, you should forget you're a servant altogether. If you can't convince yourself you're just a doctor and nothing more, you'll probably blow your cover. I see. Understood. In that case, it'd probably be better if I don't know about the rest of the plan. Would you mind keeping it a secret from me, Amakusa? Not at all. So what should I do? You and Master are going to stick together, Voyager. Me and Master? Me and Voyager? Between the two of you, I think you'll be more natural, and the more natural fit for this, Master. I'm going to dye your hair blonde. From now on, you and Voyager are going to be siblings. Ooh, siblings. I see. I don't mind. Voyager's awesome. You're going to pretend to be tourists visiting the museum every day. Won't the museum suspect something is up if we do that? Not at all. It's a very big museum, and it's filled with all sorts of relics and artifacts related to heroes throughout history. I'm certain you can pull off a convincing big brother who's only there because of his younger brother's hero obsession. I know lots about heroes, especially the ones who became constellations. I'm gonna be the best big brother I can be. For the time being, I'd like you all to focus on your rules and get into character. We have a long road ahead of us. Then I'll start by getting a room at a nearby inn. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. I'll conceal my presence and sit close to the museum. Shall we go to the museum too? I can't wait to hear some hero facts. Can say that with a straight face. I have lots. Okay, let's go. Now then, as for me, I'd better start remembering what it was like when I had nothing to my name. This job is going to take ingenuity, hard work, perseverance, physics, and psychology. Whoever said being a thief is easy. Is it a mental battle, I guess? Level 50, 1 star, skill levels 1, 1, 1. Unlucky him. Yeah, so I did a bit of summoning farming. Just enough to get the bronze. I was right, brainstorming. Yeah, so I just used the friend summon to get enough craft essences. Unlucky. I only got like one craft essence that you could trade in for the thing. The excuse me. This. What did I choose? I think I chose Club Argonauts. I'll check that later. Okay, and, oh, one moment. And we are back. Sorry for that little interruption. Is everything all right? Oh yes, she's just feeling a little under the weather. Let me take a look. She's suffering from heat exhaustion. Really? But it's not even that hot. It's because it's much warmer now than it was last night, which was quite chilly. She had a little trouble adjusting to the difference in temperature. Fortunately, her symptoms are fairly mild, so she should feel better once she gets some rest. I suggest you ask one of the museum staff to let her stay in the infirmary for a while. Okay, I will. Thanks. Not at all. I'm afraid the infirmary is a bit crowded at the moment. If it's just a little heat exhaustion, we'd prefer that you make use of one of the museum's benches instead. I see. Then I'll have to call an ambulance. Huh? You can't take heat exhaustion lightly, regardless of how mild its symptoms may be. If you have a place on the premise where she can be treated, then that's where she should go. Should you refuse, I may need to take this to the museum's curator. I understand. Please come with me, miss. I'm coming too. Sir, I'm afraid I can't. Oh, I suppose you have a physician on call? I'm afraid we don't quite have the funds for that. We do have a nurse among our staff, but for an in-house doctor on standby, well, I suppose, no matter the era, we are always short of doctors. Don't we know it? Very well, I will serve as the museum's on-call physician until closing time, at least for so long as I'm on vacation. In the morning, I'll admire the art, and in the afternoon, I'll work at the infirmary. Of course, always come help at a moment's notice in the event of an emergency. I won't demand payment for my services, but I would certainly appreciate if it at least waived my entry fee. I'm not sure if... Consider how many visitors this museum gets. I would think you want as many doctors on call as you can get. Alright, I accept your proposal. Lucky. Ooh, Shinge. Very sneaky time. Hey, you hear about the ghosts? Ghosts? What ghosts? So then, you don't know about the voices you can sometimes hear in the Holy Grail exhibit? Those ain't ghosts. That's just the security detail the curator hired, right? Not that I've ever seen them while on patrol. I'm telling you, man. Those are the ghosts. They're in that room 24/7, and there ain't even a bathroom in there. You know, this museum's pretty weird in a lot of ways. I've been to a few other museums over the years. I ain't ever seen one with guards armed like us. I heard something about that Holy Grail too, apparently. I don't believe I pay you two to stand around chatting all day. Or there's so little for you to do that you can occupy yourselves in no other fashion. We're sorry, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Lazy good-for-nothings. Is someone there? I don't think he saw me, so it must have been just a hunch. I suspect this guy was no ordinary curator, but he might be even more trouble than I thought. Good instincts, I guess? Let's see. This belonged to Iskander, and this is a relic from Sparta. It's really something, seeing them in person. But this isn't really Achilles' shield. It's a fake. Oh, and this is... excuse me, young man. You mean me? I think he does. I have to ask you not to say things like that. This is indeed Achilles' real shield. It was excavated by a team of archaeologists and authenticated by trained But it doesn't match the poem. Huh? Whoever made this probably wanted to recreate the shield as it's described in the Iliad. But the two cities drawn on the shield are supposed to contrast each other. Contrast? One city is supposed to represent peace by showing weddings and court trials. The other is supposed to represent war with disturbing images of blood and violence. But both of the cities depicted here are at peace, even though Ares and Athena, the gods of war, are on the shield. Oh, wow. You're right. I'm guessing whoever made this shield probably did this on purpose, just to have some fun. See, if you look closely around the cities... Oh, hey, look at the time. We better get along. Get going. But don't worry. It's still a really nice shield. Well, that's one way to gain attention. Around the cities... Oh, so this is what he was talking about. The writing is tiny, but it actually says love and peace. You know, in English. Now what are we gonna do? That really is a prank. Did I say something I shouldn't have? No, not exactly. Oh, good. Hey, you there. How about a freshly fried donut for your little brother? Oops. 2, please. Voyager is awesome. Looks yummy. It really is freshly fried. Isn't it yummy? It's yummy, isn't it, brother? Do you think we really do look like siblings? Oof, I'm sure we do. You think? I hope you're right. Come to think of it, I wonder when this singularity is taking place. Yeah, I did actually think of that. Now that you mention it, I'm not entirely sure either. Gotcha. I wonder if I'm up there in space. Somewhere far, far away from here. And if I am, I wonder if I could see the pale blue dot. Noble phantasm name. I find myself thinking about that kind of thing sometimes. If anyone could Voyager, I'm sure it was you. Thanks, Master. This is nice. I think there's a word that fits this feeling perfectly. A word that means something really lovely and wistful all at the same time. Romantic. That's it. Romantic. You know, Master, whenever you hear the word romantic, you always look really happy and really lonely all at once. Dr. Roman, sadness, much. That's not funny to laugh at. There you two are. Sanson! Hi, Mr. Sanson. What's up? I'm just taking a short break. They're very short-staffed here, so it takes a lot out of me to just stay on top of things. Sounds rough. Hang in there. That said, the work is quite filling, though a little nerve-wracking too. I do have some knowledge of modern medicine, but many of my medical skills are somewhat unorthodox. I'm sure. You never did get your medical license. Oh. Hope no one's listening to this. Don't let the museum hear you say that. On a different subject, while I do understand the logic in stealing the Grail, since we can't take it by force, I also can't help but feel a little conflicted about the whole thing, ethically speaking. Do you think we shouldn't be doing this, Anson? Voice cracked a bit. No, it's not that. If anything, I'm in favor of this plan. It's just that something about it is bugging me. No, that's not right either. Maybe thrilling is a better word for it. It's like, I know this is wrong, but I can't stop myself from doing it. In fact, I don't even want to. Guilty pleasure, definitely. Exactly. I know stealing is cowardly, it's also illegal and immoral. But when we actually have a moral obligation to steal the object in question, as we do here, or putting together an intricate plan to do so, well, that just makes it all very exciting. It reminds me of Arsène Lupin, the legendary thief, and how his stories thrill people to this day. Ahem. Anyway, I'd better get back to work. See you later. I think today went well. Do you think so too, Master? Yeah. Yep. Now how about we head back to the hotel too? Good idea. I can't wait to lie down on that nice, soft bed. Not much happened in this little cutscene, but it was all adorable. And a bit of funny. Hors d'oeuvres, aperitif, or appetizer. Same word, 3 words, same thing. I'm guessing it's a random enemy then, because I don't think there's any Lancers that were on the intro. There are 4 things you need to steal something. Preparation, that is a plan. Flexibility, the ability to react to changing circumstances. An exit strategy, to ensure you always have a way out no matter what happens. And finally, the most important thing, which is truly essential for a successful heist. Luck. Makes sense. I don't... that outfit's still funny to me. Good work today, everyone. I ended up volunteering at the museum's infirmary. Is that a good thing? I think so. I agree. You did a wonderful job of infiltrating the museum. As I told you before, conduct myself as though I were a doctor. I remember. As far as I can tell, the curator doesn't seem to be a mage. But the fact that this is a singularity is definitely making things harder. Incidentally, he doesn't seem to be a master either. I don't sense any connection between him and that mysterious worker I fought whatsoever. Wait, hold on, that can't be right. I mean, we know rogue servants exist, so it's not particularly surprising for those servants to be summoned here. But there's no way they obeyed that curator guy if he wasn't their master. Not necessarily. I can think of one way around that rule. He could have asked the Holy Grail, for the power to control them. Isn't that kind of backwards way of doing things? Yes, I suppose it is. Well, it might be easier in one sense, since his servants can't drain his magical energy without a normal contract. Simply having the Holy Grail grant a wish like that certainly wouldn't make them their master. Not to mention, they would turn on him in an instant at the slightest blunder. Maybe he's just very confident in his ability to control servants? Or he simply doesn't care what happens to himself. Yeah, that might be it. I'm sure you know this well I'm sure you know this well yourself, Jinke. But there's definitely strength to be found when one is willing to throw their life away. Yeah, there is. It's far from a lasting strength, and it all the instant you fear for your life. But if you can ignore the risks and keep it up, well, it would certainly make you a daunting opponent. And he definitely values that museum's reputation more than his own life. Which means Voyager, pointing out the shield of Achilles they have on display as a counterfeit, was bad? Not at all. It was excellent. Once the curator hears about it, he'll be beside himself. Any collector who wants their prized art collection to be recognized would feel the same. Very true. I was able to watch the curator briefly while I was working as a doctor, and it was clear he cares a great deal about the relics on display. Maybe you should try telling him you're Charles Henry Sanson. He may put you on display too, as long as you show him some proof. I'll pass. I have no desire to stand around all day, being gawked at like a figure at a wax museum. Don't tell me he just got an idea or something. Something wrong? Oh, no, not at all. I think I may have just seen our way in at all, is all. Sanson, do you find out if the curator has a favorite hero? Are we going to basically do a Trojan horse kind of thing? Apparently he doesn't. He claims he wants to collect everyone from fearsome gods of war to influential artists to shrewd kings, regardless of their race, nationality, or time period. I see. So that's why those displays are arranged so haphazardly. From what I'm told, the curator is constantly talking about the world, about how the world can't get enough heroes. Well, he's not wrong there. Then that should be our way past the first obstacle. Huh? If the curator cares about the hero that much, do you think he would take a look at any relic that comes his way, regardless of how credible it is? Yes, I definitely do. Though if what Voyager said is true, he doesn't seem to have any real ability to determine authenticity himself. Maybe, maybe not. I suspect it's more that he cares about collecting relics of heroes, so much that authenticity no longer matters to him. I see. He must figure that it doesn't matter if a relic is authentic or not, as long as it is sufficiently awe-inspiring. Indeed, so if we bring in a relic of our own, we should definitely be able to get closer to him. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Are you saying we should donate some of our weapons or noble phantasms? I'm afraid my noble phantasm might be too big for that. My executioner sword isn't anything special either. There are hundreds just like it from that time period. I don't have any weapons I could donate either. Too bad. That doesn't make you any less of a hero, Voyager. Thanks. I hope you're right. You two have to really take to the whole sibling thing, haven't you? At any rate, I guess my dagger's probably the safest bet then. It should have at least some value, since it almost slit Qin Shi Huang's throat. Then again, it's nothing special to look at either. It's just an ordinary run-of-the-mill dagger. No, that should be perfect. Let's go with it. Even though we don't know anyone who can verify its authenticity? Sure we do. In fact, he's closer than you might think. You mean me? That's right. From now on, you are... Voyager, the genius appraiser! He says it dramatically. It's perfect. Wow, you're serious? I can't wait to see how this turns out. Oh. And now that's settled. We're going to create a backstory for our resident genius appraiser. You'll need an ID, newspaper articles, online reputation, and so on and so forth. We'll need Caldia's help to fake all this convincingly, of course. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Be warned, we have a lot of work ahead of us. My being a phantom thief is almost like a full-time job in its own right. You're telling me. Alright, let the forgeries begin. So I'm guessing all the enemies for the next few chapters are going to be just the process of getting ready to do the robbery or whatnot. Switch to Saber and Muramasa. Probably don't need this though. Oh, diversionary tactic is a giant hydra. That was alright. I think it was at 140, so that's 100,000 off. With all these buffs, I probably don't even need to use double phantasm. I wonder how much that was in total. Alright, that's enough for now. Let's pick this back up tomorrow. Even a Phantom Thief's journey begins with a single step after all. Good night, Master. Sleep tight. Night. Dream walking again? Oh, nope. Alright. Can I ask you something, Shiro? Of course. Ah, is this about the Apple of Discord? Uh-huh. I was just wondering why you suggested I hold on to it. Because you just being a good person, or valuing order, wouldn't be enough to stop the Apple from potentially sowing discord. Whereas you are one of the very few servants who have been entrusted with the hope for the future and nothing more. Everything about you makes it clear that you're simply trying to deliver a message, not pick a fight with the universe. And since your origins lie solely in good, positive thoughts, the very concept of discord should be alien to you. At least, that was my thinking. Then again, maybe that's just what I wanted to believe, since I've always admired space and the stars myself. Got it. Thanks, Shiro. I'll promise I'll take good care of it. Not at all. Thank you, Voyager. That's cute. Shows that Shiro isn't totally misguided, for lack of a better term. Alright. Still on appetizers. 1 moment. Again. Oops. Oops. Buttons. Sorry for the interruption. Now we're back. So let's continue. This is Caldia. We're all done with the forged newspaper articles. I'm sending you the files now. They all have spells on them so that the layout of the articles themselves make the reader more susceptible to charms. Here are the headlines we came up with. Genius Apprayer Voyager sees through Da Vinci counterfeit. Voyager, boy appraiser, discovers the Colossus of Rhodes' lost head. Voyager, youngest appraiser in history, share the joys of finding real historical relics. Yeah, it's a bit much, but I guess that's what they're going for. Isn't that a little much? Whoa, you realize really went all out. These are great. Oh, wow. Reading these even makes me think. Oh yeah, Voyager really is an expert at appraising antiques and artifacts, isn't he? Please keep it together. He's blushing. The servants almost never get asked to do work like this, so they were very, excited. This article is great. I knew the modern era was all about marketing. Information is what's the real thing apart from all the fakes. With the right information, even imitations can match or surpass the originals in quality and reputation. Is that kind of like a in-joke to Archer and Emiya? Shiro? Not that that's a good thing, mind you. Let's see here. Voyager declares direct current the ultimate form of electricity. Hey, knock it off, Edison. This is serious forgery we're doing here. Are you writers done with the next column yet? It's almost time to hit publish. Just give me 5 more minutes. No, make that hours. The muse of columnists has yet to grace me with her presence. Somebody summon an editor in here. Thank you, Mash. Please convey my sincerest gratitude to all the others as well. Of course. Is there anything else I can do? Now that you mention it, yes there is. Could you let me talk to Professor Moriarty and Zhuge Liang? I can understand Moriarty, and I guess Zhuge Liang / Waiver is also very strategical. No problem. Do you need their help for something? Yes, I do. We're all young, naive, and innocent after all. Doubt. Very much doubt. If we're going to engage in wrongdoing, we should try to learn from the best first. Naive? Innocent? Us? Well, those two definitely know nothing or two about deception. The Napoleon of crime and one of the greatest strategists in the Three Kingdoms period. Technically. I must say, dear boy, I'm a bit hurt that you didn't think to call me for such a delightful caper. Oh yeah, my bad. What kind of apology is that? I heard you have need of Zhuge Liang's knowledge. That's right. I'd like you two to come up with a backstory for this dagger. So you want to prove this to the curator that Zheng Ke's dagger is the same one used in her attempt on King Shi Huang's life, eh? I see. As I recall, that dagger is said to have been treated with poison. In which case, that poison will need to show up during the appraisal process. That might be kind of tricky, since I used Hydra poison. Did ancient China have Hydras? Well, I know nothing about that, so I guess they did. That's where the forgery aspect comes in. History books say the dagger was made with a blade tempered with poison. However, it's very likely the real poison would lose potency during the tempering process. In which case, another coating of poison must have been applied to the blade after it was tempered. So that's the story we'll go with. Then what kind of poison should we use? Let's see, given what have been available at the time, I'd say botulinum or wolfsbane would be most appropriate. Whatever. I don't think it matters much either way. But is it really plausible to think there would still be any poison left on the blade after over 2,000 years? I'm afraid you're thinking about this all backwards. To convince this curator of the dagger's authenticity, whatever the reason may be for it, there must still be poison left on the blade. You see, we are going to create the kind of artifact typically reserved for the greatest of legends. Jinke, your assassination attempt failed, and you paid with your life. But the Emperor was so impressed by your bravery that your dagger was secretly brought to the treasury for safekeeping. Once the Qin Empire had fallen, and the Han Dynasty had taken its place, the new Emperor would no doubt be at a loss as to what to do with a dagger that nearly took Qin Shi Huang's life. Part of him no doubt wished to commend your bravery in fighting against the same oppression he did, but as Emperor, he certainly couldn't afford to be seen to endorse the notion of regicide. As a result, he would have been able to dispose of the dagger, and unable to disclose its existence. I suspect only a few of his most trusted retainers would have been told of the dagger's origins. Alright, I think the backstory should get us up to right before the later Han Dynasty was established. What about the rest of the time between now and then? That could be more difficult. During the fall of the Jin Dynasty, the Red Eyebrow set fire to Shang'an and made off with its treasures. If Jin Ke's dagger really had been thrown there, it would have definitely been lost at that time. Not to mention, that wasn't the only time Shang'an was caught in the middle of war. So I'm not seeing a way that a relic from the Qin Dynasty could have plausibly have been preserved. We could forge a record of its storage, but that would only be more implausible. What to do? At times like this, my good man, I found it best to simply go for it, as they say nowadays. Alright, I think I have an idea. How does this strike you? I see. That does seem like it could work, but... Indeed, we'll have to send another servant your way to complete the deception. Oh drat, I wish I could have gone myself. Be careful to choose the right person for the job. I do it myself, and I'm afraid I may not be terribly convincing in the role. In that case... who is our backup? Yes, I agree. He should do nicely. All that aside, Amakusa Shiro. Yes? You're quite the villain yourself, aren't you? Putting the ethics of it aside, I'd like to think this is the most peaceful solution to the problem. Aren't you a firm believer in thou shalt not steal? Let's just say it all depends on context. I'm surprised you two get along so well. Like attracts like? We don't! We really don't. If we were in a normal Holy Grail war, we'd almost certainly end up trying to kill each other before it was over. No, I'm certain we'd be doing that even in a non-standard Holy Grail war, and well before its conclusion. Ahem. Leaving the principles of the wicked aside, I agree he should be good for 2, but I'm not sure how convincingly he can act. Oh, I'm not worried about that. We're not asking him to be someone he's not, after all. All he needs to do is perform the same role he always has. It should be much easier than actual acting. Oh, and there's one more thing I'd like to ask of him. Who is it? Come on. This species. Unless I didn't notice him during the little cutscene, can't figure out who would he be. One moment.
The Phantom Thief sends a light-hearted warning. That shall be next. And I think I'll cut this video here. Toodles!
Toodles, that doesn't sound like me at all.